Still talking security, the National Assembly has postponed its resumption to May 6, citing preparations for Workers' Day celebrations. Lawmakers were initially set to reconvene on April 29 following the Easter and Eid holidays. This extension comes as security concerns escalate nationwide, with killings and unrest reported in Benue, Borno, and Plateau states. Meanwhile, the Nigerian Political Science Association has urged political leaders to prioritize national security over 2027 election ambitions. NPSA President Prof Hassan Saliu blames exclusionary politics for fueling insecurity, warning that foreign investors are deterred by the instability. He criticized the government's long-standing efforts as inadequate, stressing that insecurity has become a way of life for many Nigerians. Now, for more on this, we're joined by Global Affairs Analyst Ejike Okpa, who is in Dallas, Texas, and Darlington Umoru, a security expert here in Lagos. Gentlemen, you're welcome. Thank you very much. Now, Ejike, let me come to you first. The conversation is becoming overwhelming when it comes to security in the nation. To think how much is being budgeted for the security and the results that we're getting. What are the real issues, do you think, Mr. Okpa?
Yeah, thank you for having me. And my heart and prayers goes out to the families, who have lost a loved one because of this incessant, unnecessary killings, by who knows what. The people killing people in Nigeria are not ghosts. You see that they are Nigerians or people who take advantage of the weak and the loose security infrastructure in the country. So, the government has to do something. They have the military obviously haven't been able to deliver, and then of course the police is not well equipped, with the resources they need to do this job. But the other question that I have is, the security votes that all these governors get, has anybody ever asked them what do they use that money for? Maybe it's time to stop those security votes and deploy that resource to actually doing the security work. Because, you hear this thing, this is not new, from the time Jonathan was there to present, how many years is there? 10 years. How many Nigerians have died because of a lousy, what I consider insensitive attitude of the leadership. When these things happen, that the president is overseas on working, whatever they call it, working on vacation, or you have people like Danjuma who comes in and says people should defend themselves. Defend themselves with what? So they make some of these, careless statements, and it doesn't go to give the Nigerian the confidence to live a peaceful life within their own country, within their own community. They talk about the foreign investors. The foreign investors are not coming to Nigeria. Encourage Nigerians to even invest in their own community or their own country, but they won't do that if fear is a big factor in their daily lives. You can't even leave your house, 6 p.m. to go anywhere because you are afraid. So it's a shame, and this calls on every well-meaning Nigerian to rally for this. If it is travel issue, deal with it. If it's the Fulani, herdsmen that are doing this, who are these Fulani herdsmen? Take them on. And how do you take them on is go to their leadership or those people encouraging them and say, enough is enough. If he's moving the cattle from one point to the other, start the ranching business. You don't have to have the cattle and men, trek for miles and miles, going from one region to the other, destroying farmlands. Designate areas and let them take those cattle to that place and let them nurture it and slaughter it and sell it. At the end of the day, what are they looking for? Money. Okay. Then you buy the cattle from them and encourage them to stop killing people. If they kill, you kill them. Okay, sometimes a tooth for tat is what makes some people back away. The Fulani should not hold Nigerians to ransom. They shouldn't. And Nigerians should rise and say enough of this nonsense.
Okay, Mr. Okpa. I also have Darlington here with us. Mr. Umoru, thank you very much for joining us. So let's talk about the specific nature of these attacks. Right now, we've heard the outburst of General T.Y. Danjuma and how the killings seem to be concentrated in the North Central. Now, do you want to talk to the nature of these concentrations here in the North Central? It sounds like geo-targeting, or is there any other way you'd look at it?
Well, the problem in the North Central that has to do with the header farmer crisis has been there over time. It's deep-rooted. My challenge is that governments coming in and going have not really been able to, find a lasting solution to the killings. The challenge they have is that I think the matter is beginning to get bigger and bigger each time you have a political arrangement. And so I think more of politics is being played. Is in the Mati Allah now or whatever they call themselves.
I think we might have lost Mr. Umoru there. Yeah. Ejike Okpa, you're still with us, so I'll come back to you with our final question here. Now, the president will meet with the service chiefs. And after that, what do you think we should expect?
Again, the president has to, own the stuff. Every buck starts with a hammer. He has to show that he is actually in charge of Nigeria. I'm not aware he escapes out of Nigeria, comes back and stays behind the podium and makes some statement. And oftentimes you don't even understand what he's saying. He should go to Plateau State. He should sit down with them. I don't even think, wow, this is going on, he has showed up. He talks to them from Abuja. It's declare a state of emergency. You declare a state of emergency in River State and replace the civil, democratically elected. Go over there, go to Plateau State, go to the North Central areas and have a dialogue with these people and tell them, this is tiring, you are tired of this and you're going to bring the federal might, to the solution. Oftentimes, you have to show that you are in charge, but so far, Tinubu has not shown he's in charge of Nigeria, whether he's benefiting from this crisis, because, that somebody's benefiting from the fact that insecurity is pervasive in Nigeria, and Tinubu hasn't shown the concern that you want from a leader or a head of state who actually believes in the country that he has the rights to govern. So far, if I were to give him a score, I'll give him a score of less than F, if not even H, like horrible. But again, the Nigerians also have to take responsibility. You have to be very observant and conscious of things around you that may lead you to a crime, because crime is something, law enforcement reacts, except if they have good intelligence and they are able to do what prevent it. But so far, everybody's afraid. Everybody has this siege mentality, and that's not what is good for the most populous black nation in the world. I don't care how Nigerians want to cover it up. The world sees this because technology has made it an instant view. People knows what is going on. And so the Nigerians can't pretend anymore. They can't be in denial. They have to own this stuff. They have to accept that the leadership hasn't been favorable to them. Their life is in shambles. And it doesn't matter, no economy will grow when security is a big challenge. I don't care whether every Nigerian has $1 million and an oil well to their benefit. Nobody, that country is stagnating. So home and abroad, if you love Nigeria, you care for Nigeria, because life is being wasted. I mean, who deserve to die because some herdsmen or cattlemen decide they're going to have to come in there and take over? Nobody wants to. We're not in the, what they call the Stone Age or the Dark Ages. This is the 21st century. And Nigerians with all these, your excellencies, what is excellent about your excellency? With all these doctors and doctorates, and then Nigeria is sick and sickened. We need to back away from all these titles and get busy and get practical in addressing the issues that confront the average Nigerian. And I'm hoping, before 2027 comes around, that Tinubu would have scored himself to know whether he's still going to be a good candidate to be voted for. If not, Nigerians should rally against him and make sure he's the one to get the first term, because he hasn't shown them that he is actually in charge.
Mr. Ejike Okpa, thank you very much for joining us this afternoon with your expert advice. Thank you.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome.